Right, lads, here we are. First episode of the You Know Ball podcast. How are we doing, guys?
Good.
Very good. Very good.
So, if you don't know, which you won't, because this is the first one, I'm Louis. Jim is Jim. Say hello, Jim.
Hello.
There's
I'm
Jamie.
Jamie.
There's he is at the bottom. I mean, there's no background about us because we're nobodies. So, I guess we'll just start straight away. You know. So I'm going to ask first off, Super League. What's everyone's thoughts on that? What's gone on there? You know, how do we feel?
It was bad.
It's an absolute disgrace, in my opinion.
Yeah, it was.
Disgrace.
It really was.
Why is it a disgrace?
Like capitalists coming into our clubs and not like asking the fans anything, just like exploiting our clubs for profit and money without even asking players or managers. It was a disgrace.
I know Marks wouldn't be very proud of that, would he?
Nah, big up Karl Marx.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're all fans of top six clubs, all of which would have been in the Super League. How would you have felt though if it did go ahead? Would you have continued supporting your club or what? Or would you stopped?
Personally, I would have still carried on supporting my club, but I feel like the connection between the fans and the club, obviously it is already now. It's so far apart. You know, the fans don't have a great connection with, especially the owners. Carry on, I don't think it would have been the same. Like in terms league-wise, I don't think it would have been the same. Premier League would have been screwed.
Yeah. But, do you think these clubs? Do you think the Premier League would have kicked them out, or do you think they would have been forced to keep them in because of money reasons?
The Premier League would just become the Championship. No one would watch it. Nobody would care. True. Because realistically, the top six clubs are the biggest clubs.
Yeah.
I don't even think they would have kicked them out. I don't think they would have, 100%.
No.
Because they need this money. So
realistically, some people saying they would stop watching Liverpool and they'd go and watch like Enfield Town.
It's rubbish.
Of course you're going to watch them. And it'd be nice to play Real Madrid a bit more, but it's just
like not every week. That's the whole point.
Yeah, exactly.
The whole point of the Champions League is the fact that it's like, it's refreshing. You're always playing league games.
Yeah,
it's special. And to be playing Real Madrid one week, AC Milan the other week.
Yeah, mate. I think especially with Arsenal, it's such a cop out for us because we've been shit for the last 5 years now. We haven't even been in the Champions League. I mean, the biggest club we've played is Chelsea in the Europa League final, and it's the biggest European game of the last 4 or 5 years. So just to go and play this league and then get spanked by Barcelona and Real Madrid every other week, what's the point?
That's also the thing.
I wouldn't really enjoy that, I don't think.
Yeah.
I don't really fancy watching Granit Xhaka get turned inside out by Modric every other week. I mean...
the big clubs change as well. 20 years ago, it would have been Newcastle and Everton in there. So, and if you put these 6 clubs in the Super League, that means no other clubs can become big. It doesn't change. That's it would just be the same 6 clubs all the time. And that's boring.
That is true. Now, if we're talking about kind of the downfall of it, what would you put the downfall of it to? Is it the fans' backlash? Is it the owners seeing shit like this is a bit of a mistake here? You putting it down to Pep being the first one to come out and be like, "No, we don't really want to do this." Chelsea fans, was it because of their protest? No, it's definitely not because of the Spurs protest. That's for sure.
That was funny.
Our numbers were absolutely awful. So
yeah,
but yeah, what
I don't know.
I think it was what you credit it to.
I think personally, it's probably the fans. I think obviously Pep and we saw Milner come out and say in the post-match interview after the Leeds game, he said that he didn't like it. We saw Bamford, who gave a good interview after the Liverpool game as well. He said he didn't like it. But yeah, I don't think it's anything to do with the owners deciding, this was a bad idea, because I think if the fans went along with it, the coaches, the players went along with it, they wouldn't suddenly think, let's stop this for the beauty of the game. They're not going to do that. They're capitalists at the end of the day. So
that was like it wasn't just the fans and it wasn't just the managers, but literally
Yeah.
everyone disagreed with it. There was no way they could have carried on with it.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
was.
I think as well, it does make me laugh. Like Chelsea have been like hailed some sort of heroes of this whole downfall of the thing. And it makes me laugh because without Abramovich, none of this would have happened anyway. He started this whole billionaire pumping money into clubs trend at Chelsea back in 2003 or whatever. Without
But we've
him,
almost got to blame the Premier League for allowing it. Though,
yeah, I
as
mean,
well.
it started in 92 when they took over. And
Yeah.
but you've got to blame. Well, I'm not going to blame him, but like, it's funny that Abramovich is hailed as like he's a great owner. Don't get me wrong, like, but he's the one that started this trend. Without him,
Well,
Man City probably don't get bought out in whenever they did, and then have this whole era of dominance.
that is the problem though, because everyone goes on about like, oh, we want new owners and things. Whatever owners you have, if they got offered 300 million or whatever to join a competition after COVID, they just would have.
Fucking
like,
for sure. I mean, there hasn't
You
been.
can blame them all you want.
Haven't made any gate receipts for the last year, over a year now. Everyone's going to agree to that. I mean, when was the last time you lot went to a footy game? Well, Jamie never, because you're a little plastic fan. Yeah, going up to Anfield. Yeah, okay.
I went Sheffield at home was the last time I went to.
When was that? What year?
It was end of 2019, December.
See that? Decent.
Well, I went to the Wolves game where we lost 3-2 at home, and that was like with Jota was brilliant.
Yeah, Jota and Jimenez ball. That was brilliant. That was a great game.
To be honest, but
oh my god.
Yeah, that was quite recently before COVID. So
yeah. I mean, I had to watch us lose to Olympiacos. That was fun. That was fun. Yeah, I mean, if the Super League did go ahead, what would have happened to the Champions League? Because they've proposed this new format, which I'll ask for your thoughts on in a minute, because it seems pretty shit if you know anything about it. But would they have kept it that way? Or to me, it just seems like UEFA they don't really give a fuck. They just want the money from these clubs still being in their competitions. I mean, the amount of empty threats they're promising, like fuck, they were going to stop these players from playing international football. I mean, what's the point? Because then all they do is they're just going to lose all the money that comes with the Euros and World Cup.
Yeah.
Who's going to go and watch bloody, for example, Spain or whatever, and they've just got none of their good fucking players? Or you go and watch England, and instead of having Harry Kane up front, you've got Ollie fucking Watkins. I mean, he's all right, but no one's quite a Harry Kane or something. I mean, who would England's centre-backs options be then? Fucking Tyrone Mings and Ezri Konsa.
Tyrone Mings and Connor Cody. Imagine that'd be awful.
If you actually go through like the
England squad is one of the better ones. It's one of the better ones.
It might actually be the best one.
Like, I mean, Germany has a full strength team, just minus Tony.
Yeah,
Kroos.
true, because no Bayern and Dortmund.
Oh yeah, no,
yeah. What do we think of Bayern, PSG, and Dortmund? I think Bayern and Dortmund was actually kind of done out of like goodwill.
Yeah,
PSG not so much. PSG is most certainly not. Because PSG are owned by Qatar, and they just want their World Cup in 2022 to go well.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Get all their money from that, and then they probably would have joined the Super League after. Plus, they would have got a free Champions League this year. I mean, to me, it's just stupid though that these clubs, like, obviously it's from an owner's perspective, but if you're looking at it from like an actual club's perspective, teams like City especially, it's so dumb. It's their best chance to win a Champions League in their history, and they just be happy to throw that all away just so they can win the Super League Cup. Like,
there we go. It's just another reason as to why these owners are only doing it for money, because you've got Chelsea in a Champions League semi-final, first one in 8 years?
Yeah, since 2012. Yeah, I think. Man
City finally in Pep's tenure, finally getting to a Champions League semi-final, and they're willing to throw it away just to. Well, it's just for money, isn't it?
Everything City City were made to like challenge the European elite and like be this new club that go against the trends. And then as soon as they get offered some money, they just go against all of their principles.
Yeah. Quick one. Have you lot seen the new Champions League format? They want it's called the Swiss format
shit.
or something, where it's like a league table and it's like top 8 go right through, then the next 8 go into playoff matches, or the next 16, sorry, go into playoff matches to find the other 8, and then the others do playoff matches for the Europa League or something like that.
It's just more games. It's just more games.
Yeah.
No one likes the Champions League group stage as it is. I'm not being funny. It's shit. They're so boring to watch unless it's like a last game week and they need it to see who goes through. When it's just like a second week in, you got bloody, for example, when we used to be in it, Arsenal versus Galatasaray. Who gives a fuck? I'd sit there and I'd go, what am I watching? Ramsey would score a nice goal and I'd go, nice. And apart from that, but this is shit.
And from a financial point of view for the clubs, Arsenal never need to play like Galatasaray. They bring in no money. For them, playing Real Madrid every week is good. And that's probably what the new Champions League format wants more of.
UEFA's just a bunch of con men. They don't like to help when it comes to anything like racism or any of those things, but they go, second their money's at threat.
Yeah.
Well, go fucking ape shit, don't they?
People acted like this was like morals versus money. It was just money versus money, but we preferred one of the sides.
I like money grabbing what of Sky, BT, and all of them.
Yeah, exactly.
Because I'd rather it over them, but I'm going to choose them because I've grown up with it.
Yeah.
But it's not to say that they're right. What they do, charging however much subscription.
Oh, it's a joke, mate. It's a fucking joke.
Pay-per-view paying 15 quid for a game.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, that's wrong, but no one's going to talk about that, are they, at the moment? But
the reason why this has happened is because of the Premier League being invented and encouraging private investment in clubs and things. In Germany, they don't have that, so they didn't have to join it. But the Premier League encouraged exploiting it for money.
They don't think that they're getting the best out of what basically they're giving to the Premier League. They're giving, the top 6. This is some 6 amazing clubs. They don't feel like they're making as much money. They probably think, right, if we do this our own way, we'll probably make loads of money from it. And it's just basically the Premier League is thinking, hang on, you're about to go off, make money for yourselves when we want that money, basically. That's all it is.
Bring the Champions League back to ITV. We want it on Freeview TV again.
See,
I'm not being funny. No one wants BT Sport. It's overpriced and shit. The only Premier League games they show are Saturday middays, and no one likes to watch them.
Their pundits are awful as well. I mean, apart from probably Ferdinand is okay, but the rest of them are useless. The fact that McManaman gets the Champions League final, he's awful.
Oh God. Don't even get me started, mate.
For another whole that's for another whole podcast.
Yeah, we can we can do a pundits episode if you want. We can go through them. If that's something anyone wants to see, make sure to comment that down below in the nice little comment bit. Right, I think now we're gonna move on. We've already touched on them a little bit. Talking about the owners of the top 6 club, there seems to be a lot of animosity towards them on Twitter nowadays, all over. Got the whole Kroenke out thing going on. There's a protest today. I won't be there because I don't care enough. We had the excellent Spurs ENIC out one. There's about 5 people
Powerful
there.
Stuff.
It was.
Powerful stuff.
Do you know what? They should all be looked up. Those people. It was the riot. It was
raucous.
It was absolutely mental. And the whole Glazers out thing as well, because that seems to be picking up a few things. But start with you, Jamie. You're a Liverpool fan. What are your thoughts on the old FSG? Your owners.
I don't know, because if you look at where they bought our club, we are so much better now because of them and because of their intelligent investment. But I mean, for a lot of fans, the Super League was unforgivable. And I don't know. But let's not act like they're perfect owners either. They bought Balotelli. They employed Roy Hodgson. They bought Markovic for 30 million. It's not since Klopp actually changed Liverpool. Before that, we were still pretty mediocre. So, and also, if you get new owners, they're going to be exactly the same. you're not going to get some socialist owners that are going to like be with the principles of the clubs. They're all going to be
It's
super
a business.
rich.
Football's a
Yeah,
business.
and people then want us to go and buy Mbappe. They're not going to buy Mbappe if you don't want us raising the ticket prices a little bit. But yeah, I don't really know.
Everyone on Twitter seems to hate FSG, but from what I'm hearing, you want them to stay. Do you want FSG?
No, I don't like FSG, but you're not going to get any. But be careful what you wish for, because they could go, and in 5 years we'll be like Arsenal. Just be careful what you wish for.
I mean, Liverpool are net spend FC, so
yeah, but it's worked for us.
Yeah, so it's like I can't be too mad at your owners, but how much of it is down to them? These successes,
but also the not communicating with fans is really poor. The fact that the Super League is really, really bad.
It is pretty poor. Fair enough. Jim, Spurs, Enick, thoughts?
It's a tricky one, because before this whole Super League thing, I was more on the side of I like Daniel Levy.
He's not the owner though, is he? Yeah. But do you want him in association? He gets the blame. He gets the blame for everything.
He does get the blame for a lot of things. And see, Enoch, they're not ones to put money into the club, which is, it's sort of, I don't want to be one of these fans where it's just like, oh yeah, get them out and all that. But until obviously the Super League came out and all that happened, and it's just like, yeah, it's an absolute disgrace, obviously. But I don't know. I think not be careful what you wish for with Spurs, because obviously we haven't won anything. So, it might be better. It might be better with someone else. Yeah. But I don't know. We've built a massive stadium. We've built best training ground in the world.
All these can be added to the trophy cabinet. Don't forget.
Get them in. Literally, get them in. And there's rumours about Enoch selling. So doing all of this stadium.
There's rumours about everyone selling though, isn't it?
Exactly. Yeah. So, but
Jim, we also know you're a closet Man United fan as well. So what are your thoughts on the Glazers? I'm going to ask you about them.
Grace, get them out. I hate them. Get them out. Get them out of my club.
Get Bruno running the club.
Yeah, get Bruno a massive contract. Get him at the head of the negotiations.
Luke Shaw and Bruno.
Yeah.
I'm going to ask, is the resignation of Ed Woodward, is that kind of a sign of things to come when it comes to the top 6 boards, maybe apart from Chelsea and City kind of being pushed to the side now? Is Woodward kind of signalling anything for future?
Maybe. Well, they said that he was going to resign at the end of the season anyway, but this just brought it forwards.
Did they?
I don't
see that.
Yeah,
I saw something.
Yeah, they did say that, and they said it's nothing to do with the
Super League.
Yeah, I mean, he was a bastard anyway, wasn't he? He was crap.
I quite liked him as a Liverpool fan. But
now, I'm gonna ask myself, and then
all about Stan Kroenke.
Stan Kroenke, he's a twat. He's shit. But as you say, who do we get? I mean, the obvious one is that Dangote guy. Dangote. He's Nigerian. He's like the richest man in Africa. Yeah. But from what I've seen on Twitter is apparently Nigerian people say it's no better than Kroenke. He won't invest, and he only invests in stuff if he has a monopoly over it. So unless every other team got kicked out the Premier League or any other top 6 team got kicked out, sounds like he wouldn't even invest. So I don't know who to bring in. That's not my problem because I don't really know many billionaires personally. But I still just think Kroenke's not good enough. I mean, there's been news today that he wants to invest. We might invest in the summer. If that's the case, sure. If he can take us back to that heights of challenging for the Premier League, go for it. Hopefully, this has just been a wake-up call, but it seems like it's not because he hasn't for years now. He's just slowly leached off our club. If we've slowly faded into a mid-table team, and fans have had enough, and understand why everyone wants him gone. So do I. So I think the sooner he gets out, the better it should be for Arsenal, because a lot of top 6 owners seem to be shit.
Yeah,
I would have loved
personally one. I wouldn't even believe anything in the sense that Kroenke would back Arteta this summer, because I think you know, we've already seen rumours coming out with United. United do it all the time. I know, going back to me being a United fan, but United literally do it all the time. They put out a little bit of news to the press to keep the fans happy. Usually after something terrible's happened. Oh, we're linked with Haaland or blah blah blah. So, you know, I wouldn't bet on it, especially now with COVID and everything. I wouldn't bet on, you know,
I wouldn't.
a
Yeah,
complete
ownership
rebuild.
change. Ownership change takes fucking ages to do. Yeah, I think when it comes to the owners, you know, is the grass always greener on the other side? Who knows? You know, I think it's a difficult one to judge because we've seen clubs. I don't think it would happen in case of these big clubs, but seen other ones like Bury and whatever, and new owners come in and then their bloody liquidates. I mean, I'd hate to see that happen to anyone. I mean, what I'd like is a club that actually seems to invest well. Is a club like Everton. You know, they got Usmanov's one of their owners, I'm pretty sure as well. They got a decent back-in from their owners there, and
Jamie, what do you think about that?
well.
What do you think
Yeah,
about
I know,
it?
but they'd still exploit their club for money. It's like,
No, but
if they
everyone
got offered to
does.
join
But
the
I don't
Super
think
League,
people
they'd still
really
join the Super
care.
League.
I don't think people really care. They just want owners that would invest. Especially in the case of Arsenal and Spurs fans, we've had to do these self-sustaining models forever, where
It's hypocritical, isn't it?
We have to.
Everyone goes mental
first.
when you furlough your staff, and then you don't spend money, and everyone's like, everyone goes mental again. It's, you know.
I think
Louis,
most
were you
fans are
happy?
fed up.
Were you happy with your with the transfer window last summer? Were you happy with Arsenal's transfer window?
I think we were maybe one signing away from.
And to be honest, I was as well. I wasn't expecting
Yeah.
Tottenham's transfer window.
I
wasn't expecting us to go and sign Reguilon. I wasn't
Same.
expecting us to go and sign Bale. Wasn't expecting us to go and even sign Vinicius, even though we desperately needed a backup striker. I thought Doherty and Højbjerg, and that'd be it. That'd be us done. So
I mean, it's not like it was. I can say
about it.
I can say I'm okay with it, looking back. But when you think of it, that's still Arsenal still needed more. They needed another left back. We needed another centre back. We needed an attacking midfielder, which we didn't go out and get until January. We need another winger because
It takes time, though, doesn't it?
It does take
it's
time.
Not one summer. You need a few summer, and a few
I
January.
think what it is with Arsenal fans is, or most clubs is, it's just I think it's just a jealousy thing. We see City and Chelsea buying everyone under the sun, and we just want a piece of that. But we can't, and we're probably not going to.
With Liverpool, the centre back saga in the January window, that was pretty horrible because they had the money to buy Kabak, they had the money to buy Ben Davies.
Yeah.
They just waited until Matip got injured, until Henderson got injured, and then we dropped down to 7th in the table to actually buy it.
I think the biggest joke with Liverpool's is end of the 18-19 season. You sign Adrian and Van den Berg. You just won the Champions League,
and
you
we had all that clout.
No one. You bought
Didn't
no
capitalise
one.
on it.
You literally probably could have bought anyone you wanted to that season.
Yeah, you can say that, but also we did go and win the league next season, so it's like
Mickey Mouse Premier League. No one cares. You know, everyone was at home going, "Oh, I don't really give a fuck anymore." You know, bigger things, Jamie.
True.
Bigger things.
I think for Liverpool fans to be annoyed. I can understand Liverpool fans being annoyed with their owners in terms of them not maybe spending and not buying a centre back when they needed to, and waiting for other players to get injured for them to then go and sign 2 centre backs. But I think there is a case of be careful what you wish for with Liverpool. I think because then yes, they didn't sign anyone the season they won the Champions League, but they kept all their players. Yeah. Am I right? Did they give a couple of players contracts? Like
like Trent and Robbo got contracts.
Things. So you know, so for them to go and win the league, plus they had a brilliant squad. They had a brilliant 11 anyway, and they got better, didn't they? Because they got more points.
Was it Liverpool getting better, or was it just City getting worse? Because it seemed like you got like the same points tally pretty much, or just
We
a bit
were
less.
immense.
You
No,
just
but for that
continued.
first,
You just continued your form from the previous season. City
yeah,
just got worse.
but for the first probably 2/3 of the season, we were immense.
Oh yeah, I mean, I
Like,
thought
we
you were
won
gonna
every game.
go invincible.
The only reason we didn't get 100 and whatever points was because lockdown. Then we'd won the league and we sort of, dilly dallied a bit.
Yeah, that's when you got dunked on by Reece Nelson.
I think the solution for this is, rather than getting new owners and things, just get some fans on the board, just communicate with the fans, communicate with the manager better. So like this can't happen again.
It's communication. I think if all of the top 6 clubs, they were more in contact with their fans, even if it's literally just social media posts. You look at the apology that FSG did after everything that happened. Yeah, that wasn't great, but even that, even just a little bit of communication that's not like a little small statement where you're barely even apologizing. Give us meetings, give us times where we can genuinely ask owners questions, and that would help so much, because then fans wouldn't have to be getting frustrated mid-season when you're not doing very well in the league. Then they can have a chance to ask questions, and you won't see things like protests and things like that, and getting straight on social media and you're seeing like Kroenke out and FSG out straight after a loss. You won't see that. You'll see them blaming the poor performances or the manager or something like that. You'd see them blaming something else.
Yeah. I think it's all fair points, really. I think moving on now, I think we've covered everything really about the owners. This is more directed at you, Jim. Ryan Mason, interim Spurs manager. Is there any chance he stays, or is it literally just a couple weeks job?
Unless he wins the Carabao Cup on Sunday, and he gets top 4, which is, you look at the league at the moment, there's teams around us with more games in hand. And I know games in hand doesn't mean points on the board, but if he gets us top 4, that would be, you'd definitely consider giving him the job. It would all depend on how we play in those games. If we really warrant top 4, we really deserve it, and we play brilliant football from now to the end of the season. But no, it's not going to happen. It's
who do you want?
Job. Nagelsmann, 100%.
Yeah.
No question about it. I would. There are other names that I would take, but I don't want Sarri. I mean, I just think
boring,
we're done with Chelsea rejects.
So
we're done with Chelsea managers.
Yeah,
about that. But yeah, we've had AVB, we've had Mourinho, neither worked out. So yeah, I would stay well clear of Sarri, I think.
As an Arsenal fan, Louis, who do you want Tottenham to get? Who out of the possible options, who do you think is the worst?
The worst coach. Oh god, this is a tough one. Maybe just some like shit one from like the Eddie Howe. Yeah, Eddie Howe. I mean that would be awful. That would be like, I think Brendan Rodgers would make you good short term, but once again, you wouldn't win anything at all.
Yeah, you wouldn't. He's very Tottenham, actually. He's a very Tottenham manager.
Just kind of top 3, maybe top 3, top 4. It's like,
I think Nuno
we're nowhere near that at the moment.
Nuno would relegate you.
That would be so funny.
The only thing Nuno would do is that'd be good is he'd probably get Doherty playing actual football again. If you go back to a 3-back formation.
Yeah, he would get the best out of Doherty, but other than that, no. Nuno is another person that he's done a good job with Wolves, and I do like with Wolves. Like, I liked Eddie Howe with Bournemouth. I don't like Eddie Howe with Tottenham. I don't like Nuno with Tottenham, because there's a, I don't want to say there's levels, but
there is.
There is, basically. There is a gap. and it's not good for my club. I was saying to like Arsenal fans when you were linked with Nuno, I was like, yeah, no, great. He'd be great for you lot. Not for my club. Not for my club, no. But for anyone else, sure.
You might want Big Sam. You know, Sam he'd sort you out.
Jesse Marsh would be quite funny.
Do you know what's bad? In November, when we're on that run of form, I was willing to take Sam Allardyce at Arsenal. I'm not being funny. That was probably the worst thing I've ever thought in my life, but I would have been willing to take him because I genuinely thought we could get relegated if we keep playing like this.
Is Arteta the man, Louis? Is Arteta the man?
Give him 200 million in the summer, and then we'll judge if he's the man or not.
Give me 200 million.
I feel like anyone could be the man for 200 million.
Exactly.
You know, I could just go on the best coaching course ever. As you think, like, do you reckon you could be like a Premier League coach? I mean, because I feel like all the new ideas have already been like explored now. There's only so much really you can do on a football pitch, unless you got your centre backs just to like run into the goalkeeper like every single time.
Yeah, I do, but we do know nothing. Like relatively compared to Premier League managers, we know nothing.
That's what I was going to say.
Do you know what
I was going to say?
I reckon I could outclass Pep.
But we look at Lampard.
Lampard knows so much more than us.
He had a year's experience, obviously, with Derby, and then went to Chelsea, got them top four, which he did really well for. I don't think anyone expected them to get top four that season. I'm
surprised.
But then 200 million, he got loads of top players as well.
Yeah. How many players is too many players? You know?
Any more than 5, I think. If they're starting players, you can't
integrate them.
Jim, you've experienced that back in 2014 with Tottenham, didn't you?
Yeah, I mean, some of them,
2013.
They were awful.
8 players, one of them turned out good.
I mean, one of them's still at the club, and that's not the one that turned out good. That's so yeah. But he scored a Rabona against Arsenal. So
in a game that you lost. So.
Yeah. So right, I think it's kind of time we move on to the last segment now. Do some predictions, shall we, for the upcoming season? Oh, not for the upcoming season, for the season, for the rest of the season. What's going on? We'll start with the League Cup final on Sunday. We'll start with you, Jim. See your prediction, mate.
I've told myself that we're going to lose, and
but you could win.
We could win because it's football. But De Bruyne's back in training today, as Pep's literally said. I read that about an hour before doing this. I don't know. Unless Mourinho was hated so much by the Spurs players that Ryan Mason coming in has literally galvanized so much, and they really want to do it for him. I can tell that they like Mason, so it's just whether they want to put in the yards, put in the graft to win the game. But they'll all need to be above out of 10 performances to win the game, and we need Harry Kane and Son at their best.
I'm gonna press you for a score here, Jim.
We're not going to get many chances.
I'm gonna press you for a score here, Jim. You gonna go optimistic or you gonna go pessimistic?
For a score, I can't say that I don't like predicting losses, so I'm gonna say 2-1 Spurs. Be boring.
Is there extra time? I'm guessing there's extra time.
Yeah, I think there is, because remember
2-1 in extra time.
Remember 2 years ago, Chelsea played
2-1 Spurs or 2-1 City.
No, 2-1 City in extra time.
Extra time.
Phil Foden.
Yeah, I think Foden will have a big say in the game.
Although they have PSG midweek, so that they could rest players.
But they rested players against Villa pretty much, didn't they?
They're not going to rest players. Pep respects this competition. That's why they've
won it so he still wants a treble. I mean, they lost a quadruple.
Not a treble though, is it? Let's
I mean, it kind of is.
It's not. We won the Super Cup and the World Cup. I mean,
they were in different seasons and all that shit. You tried to claim you won a quadruple.
We didn't win the quadruple. We were holders of all 4 trophies at once. That's a quadruple.
Right. My prediction: League Cup. 2-0 City. Foden and Mahrez with a goal. It's just work in it.
How much would it mean to you, Jim? Would it be like winning the Champions League, or would it just be, oh, thank God we've won a trophy?
No, when I say it means everything, it means everything. You know that guy? Who's that guy that screamed like, "It's everything" to me? Like, it means absolutely everything. Like, if we win that, I'm getting pissed. I said it.
It's a bit annoying, isn't it?
I'm getting pissed. Like, I'm getting absolutely pissed out of my.
Listen,
How would you feel,
wait,
Louis?
hold
It's a
on.
trophy.
Jim,
It's a trophy. We
if
need a
Spurs
trophy.
win on the next podcast, I'll just down a pint. All right, that's the deal.
I won't.
And if they lose, you can do it.
Perfect.
Sweet.
And I can watch.
That's fine.
Fantastic.
And you can sit and watch.
Yeah, you can watch.
How would you feel if Spurs won, Louis? Would
I'd
it be
just
as bad
go.
as winning the Champions League?
If they won the Champions League, I would have like never come out
Killed
again.
yourself, yeah.
But
Yeah.
I think I'll just be like, oh shit, they've won a trophy. But then the second they start gassing about, say it's the League Cup. It's like a step.
Yeah, I mean, it
like
is a League Cup.
we only win the FA Cup, right? But at least that's a step above the League Cup. So
it is, but we are so starving. Like,
yeah,
unbelievable.
It's
So
probably
you know,
starving.
I've seen like all over Twitter, like people are saying that if we win this League Cup, we will celebrate it like it's the Champions League.
Have a parade.
You'll probably be sick of us within an hour after winning it.
Oh
but
God.
yeah,
I can imagine Hyun-Min Son's gonna start crying his eyes out holding the trophy.
Yeah.
I genuinely do think there will be people crying. Possibly Ryan Mason.
Son will cry. He will cry his eyes out.
Lucas Moura will be like praying to God.
But he did that for the
people.
second place. I belong to Jesus.
I belong to Jesus. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Go ahead, Jim. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, literally, if I think I desperately want us to win. I don't really like these group of players, to be honest.
Yeah.
I'm being honest. I don't really like half of these players, but for people like Kane especially, he needs to win something. So yeah, it'd be great if he could win it.
Right. What competition do we want to do next? We'll go for the other one. We got Europa League, Champions League, and Top 4. We'll do Europa League next. Straight. Who do you think's gonna win?
United. Probably just will be United. Won't
United.
It?
Jim.
I'm gonna get a lot of stick for this, but I do think Arsenal will win it. Think Arsenal will win it. Yeah.
That'd be
I know.
fantastic. Mate, I'd cry if we won the Europa League, that's for
Get
sure.
a lot of stick from Spurs fans.
Pathetic.
But
how's it pathetic?
League,
we haven't
pathetic.
been in the Champions League since 2017. We need to get back.
Winning the Champions League, that was good.
But
no one cares. No one cares. So no one asks.
I did.
You look at last season when Arsenal won the FA Cup. It's like no one thought they would beat
City alone,
and then beat Chelsea. So I think
true.
When Arsenal in big games, apart from Baku, because obviously Baku was just embarrassing.
I couldn't do another one of
that
those.
Was so funny.
In big games, you do tend to step up. You look at the North London derby against us. It wasn't the biggest game, but it's still a big game in terms of history. So yeah, I think United. What have United won? I know that I love United, but what have United won? What has Ollie won? And Ollie coming up against Arteta, we've seen
he's yet to score a goal against Arteta.
Exactly, there we go. So Arteta gets the better of him.
But
so
who do you think are we all agreed it's going to be a United Arsenal final?
I could see Villarreal. I mean, United will get there, but I think Villarreal have a chance.
Yeah, I mean, we don't have a striker at the moment.
The narrative is
there. Myself, I'm going to go with Arsenal purely because I'm an Arsenal fan. We're going to smash Emery, revenge. We're again going to smash Ole, 6-0. David Luiz is injured, but he's going to score one from the stands, and then it's going to be done. Back in the Champions League, I will cry my eyes out, and it'll be the best day of my life. Next, Champions League, something Liverpool are no longer in because they got dunked on by Vinicius Junior, the worst player in the world.
You haven't been in it for 5 years.
I couldn't care less.
You just said you'd cry.
No, shush. Couldn't care less. Shush. Right. Winners of the Champions League. Who are we going with?
I hope it's PSG.
I hope it's PSG. I don't think it will be Chelsea or Madrid.
PSG.
I don't think it will be Chelsea or Madrid. But I think
Chelsea beat Madrid.
It's a shame that the final can't be City PSG because that would have been the best final.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I don't like Chelsea, obviously. Don't like Real Madrid, but I don't really care. If Real Madrid win it, sure. I don't
it's
really
just fine,
care.
innit?
If
Bit
PSG win it, sure. If City win it, it'll be a bit annoying, but I'll just be like, okay, because I don't know any City fans, couldn't really care less. But I'm gonna go
I really
with
don't want
I'm
City.
gonna go with PSG. That front three was ridiculous against Bayern Munich. I know they only scored did they score in that game? They lost 1-0, didn't they? In the second leg. Yeah, but
Yeah, but they could have had about 10.
They were outrageous. I mean, you see Di Maria's assist the other day.
That was
Rabona,
ridiculous. That
oh
was
my
ridiculous.
god!
I think
I'm gonna go PSG.
And I think a lot of Tottenham fans who are watching would agree with me on this. It would be so Tottenham for Arsenal to win the Europa League and Chelsea to win the Champions League.
God.
It's Tottenham. It's written in the stars that this would happen after the season, the disaster of the season that we probably will have. I don't think we're going to get top 4. So yeah, I think that's Tottenham's.
So you think Chelsea are going to win it?
Don't, but I wouldn't be surprised.
I wouldn't be surprised. They don't concede
of us. Exactly, and I
think Chelsea definitely beat Madrid. Madrid are they're very good. They have a lot of very good players, but we should have beaten them. If we put in a competent foot performance in the first leg, we would have beaten them. They're not that good, and Chelsea are actually quite good.
So we all agreed PSG the winners.
I think City. I feel sick, and it ruins Klopp's legacy. And I'm never going to be able to argue we were better than them.
Don't know. Actually, I don't know. No, I do. See, I can't see Man City losing to PSG though, and I don't know. It's hard. I don't think it'll be Real Madrid. I think Real Madrid are 4th.
I wouldn't not expect it to be Real Madrid though. They've won more Champions League than anyone, and I've never seen it.
Yeah.
They're the only club to go. I don't know if they're the only, but they went 3 in a row the other year. They still have majority of that squad. All they have is just no more Ronaldo, so they have that Champions League experience, and that could be
Bale.
mean
And
the world.
Bale to come on and do an overhead kick.
That could mean the world.
Am I right, Jamie?
This whole midfield of Casemiro, Modric, and Kroos, they've already won 3 Champions Leagues. They know how to do it.
And they were very good against us.
The only thing is there's no Sergio Ramos.
Yeah.
So that could be a bit of an issue for them.
He's a twat anyway.
Stay professional, Jamie. Come on.
Yeah, sorry. Come on. We've got a job to do.
He's a bad person.
Okay. Is that Champions League done then?
But I don't know.
We happy with that? So City,
I've changed my mind.
Would you say, City, Jim? You cut out City, you think?
I think it'll be City. Yeah,
right,
I do.
Cool. Yeah. So Jamie City, Jim City. I think it's going to be PSG. I hope it's PSG. I'd like to see Neymar lift the Champions League. Finally, got top 4. What do we think here? Who's going to be in top 4?
Well, it's not going to be Arsenal.
Do you think Leicester is knuckled down to be there?
No, not at all. But I think they will get it. I think it'll be Chelsea and Leicester.
Chelsea and Leicester.
I think so as well. I think Liverpool will push them. I think Liverpool will push either Leicester or Chelsea. I don't think either of them are perfect, and I think they'll have obstacles in the next few games of the season. But yeah, I think it will be Leicester and Chelsea.
Liverpool need to start rolling teams, otherwise there's no chance of getting in. I mean, Spurs are an outside shout. You're 2 points off top 4.
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't rule out West Ham either. I think.
I forgot about them.
Relatively good rest of the season. Yeah, we can't forget about them. Unfortunately, we can't forget about them. They have been brilliant. But yeah, they've been good, and they have a decent run in till the end of the season.
Yeah, Chelsea's running is hard, especially with the Champions League games. So I think if we were to catch someone, I could see Chelsea dropping points. They're also not in great form. They have dropped quite a few points recently. And Leicester, I don't know. Leicester back.
I think they're too far ahead now, Leicester. to kind of.
I don't know.
know
What
how
are they
lot
6
much
points
is.
ahead of us?
I just think.
And they all have to play each other as well. Leicester have to play
They've got-
Chelsea. Chelsea have to
okay.
play
Leicester have also got us on the last day of the season
Yeah.
as well. So,
Leicester's last 3 games are United, Chelsea, Tottenham, I think.
I think one team that
Yeah,
will not get
so-
top 4 is Arsenal. That's for certain.
I think-
I
I
don't
think
think
it's
that
a
will
safe bet.
happen. I wouldn't be surprised if Spurs just fluke their way into it because that is very
I
Tottenham.
would be surprised.
I would be surprised. I would be surprised, and I don't think we'll even push them because
Yeah, I think
I
it's
think-
going to be. I do think. Do you know what? I'm going to go unpopular opinion. Liverpool and Chelsea are both going to get top
Come
4.
on.
Leicester will drop out. I think
Yeah.
Liverpool just if they start steamrolling teams now, they're like
Our running is
if you
good.
can get a roll of 2 or 3 games in a row where you're winning by like 2 goals each time, you'll just win every
Yeah.
game for the rest of the season. Especially if
Well,
your fullbacks hit form. That's what you
Yeah.
need.
Yeah. Apart from United away, our fixtures we should win all of them. And I think if we
Yeah.
do win all our games, then we will get.
We only have Chelsea. That's our only difficult game left. But knowing
Mm.
Arsenal, we're going to draw at least 3 of them. So I'm not expecting anything. All on the Europa League now or nothing. But yeah, is that pretty much it, guys? I'm going for a while
so.
now.
Yeah.
So yeah, I want to thanks everyone for watching this first episode of the You Know Ball podcast. You know, you can feel free to write some comments down below of what you want to see next week, or hopefully next week,
4.
depending on
Comment
if
your
these
top
lot
4.
care. Yeah, comment your top 4, your Europa
Top
League
4.
winners, your Champions League winners, your League Cup winners, your FA Cup. We didn't even do that. Quickly, who's going to win the FA Cup? Chelsea.
Who's still in it? Who's in it?
Chelsea and Leicester. It's the
Leicester.
final. Chelsea.
Hopefully Leicester.
Quick.
Hopefully Leicester.
Chelsea.
Leicester. Jim's gone Leicester. That being said, I want to thank all you lot for watching, and we'll see you soon. Peace.